So, welcome everyone. This is the Protect Street Vendors podcast. My name is Alexander Morales. We have a very special guest today, and this is Teddy. I'm pretty sure you've seen either a food truck or a restaurant, Teddy's Red Tacos. And the reason why I have Teddy here is because not only have I heard a lot from him before I even met him, he has a very inspirational story. So, I just wanted to introduce you, Teddy. Teddy, is that how you like people calling you Teddy, or you? Is there another nickname for you, or Teddy?
Teddy's good.
So Teddy, let me know. Where did you grow up? That's the first question I want to ask you.
Well, first of all, thank you for having me over. I'm excited to share my story and to your audience and anybody that can see and hear this. I'm excited to share my story.
For sure.
So pretty much, I grew up here in LA. I was born here in LA, but I was raised out in Puebla.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Nice. And what part of LA did you?
Linwood.
Linwood.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Actually, I grew up. I was born in Martin King Hospital.
Okay. And so you grew up in Puebla, but then you came out here.
No, it was the opposite.
Okay.
I was born here. I went to kindergarten. Actually,
Okay.
In Linwood, and then my dad decided, you know what, let's get out of here. We went back to Mexico, to Puebla,
Okay.
with my little brothers and my mom, and to the age of 18 when I came back.
Oh, wow. So it was a total opposite. You were
Yes,
born here, you grew up out in Puebla, so you got the best of both worlds then.
yes,
And that's the reason why I have you here, because I think you're an inspirational story for all the hustlers out there that aspire to have a business, and I think you've surpassed that. So you come back, you're 18, you came back from Puebla, and what's crazy is that 10 years ago you hadn't even started your business yet. 10
no.
years ago you just started in what year?
I started back in 2016.
So in 2016, what happened there that you decided to start a taco stand?
Yes.
Okay, so how did that come about?
So my story is pretty interesting. I'm not a cook. I never cooked before.
Mm-hmm.
And prior to Teddy's, I used to be a paquetero.
Okay.
Like in English, you said
Like kind of like a warehouse worker where
courier.
a courier. Okay.
So I would take stuff from LA to Puebla,
Okay.
and from Puebla to LA.
Okay.
So I had a lot of friends. I have a lot of friends and family that they can go back to Mexico,
Hmm.
right? So I would go back and forth, and I would tell them, hey, whenever you want to send stuff to your family in Mexico, I'll
Yeah.
take them, and vice versa. So the moms, the aunts in Mexico, hey, llévale esto a mi hijo. Take some bread, take some mole to my kids.
Okay.
Then I found out it was a good opportunity to make money because more people wanted that.
Right. Right. Right.
So that's how I started like a little business, and I did that for a couple years, and I was doing okay.
Okay.
And in the transition of that, I met this gentleman. He said, Teddy, whenever you want to come down to TJ, I'll show you how to cook birria.
Mm.
And I'm like, you know what, bro? I respect you. I'm glad you're doing well with your birria business, but that's not me. I'm doing good here.
Yeah.
Long story short, a few months later, I broke up with my ex-girlfriend. I was all depressed. I started drinking. My business started going down, down, down. At that time, we were staying in an apartment in East LA,
Yeah.
and I'm the oldest of four brothers, and it was very embarrassing for me because I was already 30 years old. I had to be an example for my little ones
Wow.
and everybody, and I was out here depressed. So instead of going back to Puebla with my dad, I decided to go to Tijuana,
Okay.
right? And I was looking for a way out. I was looking for a way to just drink and olvidarme de mis penas.
Yeah.
I was just depressed and stuff because I couldn't believe what had happened to me. So I go to TJ. This is back in 2015. I'm in TJ. I'm working. I'm living with this friend of mine, and he's teaching me all the birria game. Like, hey Teddy, do this, do
What
that.
is birria? What is birria? What is that? What is the consome? Because I eat it all the time. I don't even know what it is. What is it?
Well, that's a great question.
Yeah.
Birria originally, the little things that I know about birria, it started out in Guadalajara,
Okay.
Jalisco. It's just a part of Mexico, and they usually cook it with goat.
Okay.
Goat, it's kind of meat, and they put it as in an oil, they dig a hole, and the people do it different ways.
Right.
But the way I do it, it's in Tijuana. The way I was taught is in a pot. You throw the meat, which is we use beef.
Okay.
We use shoulder clot, the part of the bull.
Okay.
Shoulder clot. We put tomatoes, chiles, garlic, salt, a whole bunch of spices.
It's bull. Also, it's not res. It's not like a
Bull.
pig.
No, it's
Oh, it's cow.
cow.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Bull.
I was like,
What did you heard?
no, no. I thought no. I for some reason I just thought it was something else. So, but what does the water have? Like you put the meat in there.
So the meat, tomatoes,
Okay.
chiles,
Okay.
garlics, all the spices
Okay.
that we use for to season it up.
Like
And
broth, basically.
yeah,
Okay.
so we cook it. We let it sit overnight. Let it sit overnight, and that's how we call birria.
Oh, nice.
Also do a birria de chivo, que no?
Actually, we only specialize in beef birria.
No problem.
That's our
Yeah.
specialty. That's all we do.
Other people do the goat.
Other people use goat. Other people use lamb, borrego.
A lot of people are like me though. They don't want to eat the goat. Like I don't eat goat, so they like what they're used to, right?
I personally prefer birria, the beef.
Beef, yeah.
Yeah,
me too.
goat.
So for the people at home that might have something dumb to say, it's not barbacoa, it's birria.
Yes, barbacoa is a whole different style as well.
Okay, like Texas. That's Texas, huh? Kind of
Well,
Texas.
like in Puebla, we call barbacoa. We make a hole in the dirt
Yeah.
and we put the chivo there, and it gets cooked underneath the earth, like a horno, like a horno in the dirt, and there's a caldito, but it's barbacoa de chivo.
Mm,
So it's
it's similar.
no,
No?
it's totally different.
Okay, okay, okay.
It's totally different. So the easiest way is you just come try it out. Come to Teddy's Red Tacos.
Yeah.
That's right.
A little space for a little commercial for Teddy's.
Yeah, oh yeah, they're good, man. They're good.
Because other people are trying to do their own thing, which is cool. I respect that.
Yeah,
But like each have their own taste.
right.
So
No, and I think it's really good. I mean, every time I see a Teddy's Red Taco truck, I stop by. It's bomb. So in 2015, this should go out to the homies right here who are listening and to all the young kids. Even though you might be going through a breakup and you feel, man, this is it. I think this guy right here is an inspiration because he was going through a breakup. Like he said, he just felt like he was in a dead end. And right now you're about to find out where he's at now. Because how many locations do you own now?
right now we have 11 locations.
11 locations.
That's
This is
amazing.
this is the guy that 10 years ago didn't even have one yet. So take me to 2015 where you're in that situation where you felt you were at a dead end and then you're learning how to cook birria with your friend. Take me to when you opened your first taco stand. What was this at?
Okay, so it's 2015. I'm in TJ. I'm out there, depressed, just drinking a lot. And my buddy would tell me, Teddy, come on, get your shit together. Excuse the language.
Yeah.
Come on, get your shit together. Stop drinking. Stop being depressed. And I wouldn't see that. I didn't see maybe, I'm a big believer of God and maybe God had a different or a bigger purpose for my life. But I was out there for a year, came back 2016,
Yeah.
convinced my mom
Oh.
to help me get a car.
Wow.
Because my credit was messed up. I convinced her because they were very disappointed of me. I was already 30, 31 years old at that time. So coming from a Hispanic community, and I'm not sure if you know this, but you have at that age you have to be able to provide for your family.
Right.
Not only that, you have to help out your parents. And I was vice versa. I was dependent still on my mom.
Damn.
I was still living with my mom in East LA. So at 30 years old, it's embarrassing, it's depressing. I'm walking with my head down, like como dicen en español, con la cola entre las patas, because I had nothing to show, nothing to do, right?
Yeah.
So I'm out here and I convinced my mom to help me get a car, and I tell her, I want to start driving and Uber and stuff, and she's like, why don't you get a real job? Mechanics said you know how to sell, you know how to do a lot of things. I'm like, you know what, mom, I want to do my own thing and help me get a car because I learned this recipe and I want to put it to work. I'm like,
Right.
you're crazy. She was just, Teddy, just we need to pay rent. Teddy, like, just get a real job because like you're 30 years old, you can't even pay rent. I'm like, just believe in me, just believe in me.
Yeah.
And the thing that helped me was once I came back, I remember I walked to a church in East LA and I just walked in the middle of the day and I asked God for forgiveness. I asked God to help me forgive my ex because I had a lot of anger towards her.
Yeah.
And I was carrying all this luggage that I would try to do one thing and it wouldn't work out, and I try another thing and it wouldn't work out. So I said, you know what? Maybe I need to, forgive to let go and so I can grow, right?
Yeah.
I had no clue what to do, how to do it, how to start. But I started, you know what? Let me start fresh. Let me clean my soul. Let me. I took some spiritual retreats,
Mm-hmm.
which helped me out a lot.
Oh wow.
So I started reading a lot of books as well. I started walking towards the library out in East LA. I walk to the library on my free time because, you know what? I can't be drinking. I need to get better.
So you had to help yourself first before you
Yes.
helping others. Wow. So
So, like people don't know this, but I will walk to the library and I start reading the books, self-help books. It's kind of embarrassing, like self-help, but I need a lot of help. I started getting the CDs.
yeah.
I'll download to my computer, and I got like a little iPod, and I would listen to all the motivation stuff, like all the classics, like Jim Rohn, Les Brown, Zig Ziglar, Tony Robbins. Like, it's possible. Don't give up. Come on, keep trying, keep pushing forward, get excited.
The law of
Come on,
attraction.
come on.
Yeah.
The secret, the law of attraction, visualizing yourself, being successful. I will see myself helping others. I will see myself giving my mom a new car. I will see myself taking my mom out of the apartment that we used to live for 18 years.
Mm-hmm.
My mom used to be a street vendor selling in the van. She would sell ropa, she would sell all this kind of stuff. And the biggest struggle that she had, like, oh, me robaron. Like I was in South Central, me quieren pagar, les fiel la ropa y se me están escondiendo. I'm like, mom, like, and we have to go knocking on doors to hey, you know what?
Get paid.
To get paid. So I saw myself, in a different, you could say, lifestyle,
Environment. Yeah.
in a different style. But I had to believe in myself first. So I got like, so, what's it called? Me empapé.
Yeah.
How can you translate that?
You soaked up the game. You guys inspired.
I got so into it, bro.
Yeah.
I got so into it, and I started reading the books, like The Magic of Thinking Big.
Okay.
The
That's
classic.
what I was about to ask. What books did you read?
Jim Rohn. He's one of my favorite ones. Jim Rohn. I always love listening to him. Napoleon Hill. Think and Grow Rich.
Yeah.
Think and Grow Rich. A book that changed my mind. That, hey, you know what? I can be rich. I can be successful if I start applying these things. If I start, maybe instead of complaining, what if I start being grateful?
Right.
What if I start smiling and start having an angry face? Oh, you know what? Let's start doing this. Let's start changing my attitude. And things started working out, man. Things started working out.
Wow.
And because of that, I was excited. I was, my mom helped me get a car. I'm driving. I'm making money here and there. And I started buying my little blender, my little olla para hacer la birria.
Yeah.
I started buying all the ingredients. And little by little, I started giving free samples to people.
Wow.
And I remember giving the sample to her name is Maria. And she's like, damn, Teddy, your birria is bomb. You need to start selling your tacos. And to be honest, I had never sold tacos before. I was kind of embarrassed to even start like a taco stand.
Right.
I'm like, because at least back then, back in 2016, or at least in my messed up thinking, maybe, ¿cómo yo voy a vender tacos? Like how am I going to be selling tacos? I have no idea how. But she's like, Teddy, I have workers here in South Central. I have like 60 workers, and just come and sell to them. And I convinced my mom also.
Wow.
She'll be the cashier. I convinced her. And October 2016, which is 7 years ago,
Wow.
we officially started the taco stands for Teddy's Red Tacos.
Where was this at?
South Central.
South Central. What streets was that?
Paloma and Slauson.
Do you still have a spot there?
Yes.
Oh wow. That's the spot that my homie told me about.
That's the original one. We were next to it.
Wow.
This is October 2016. Actually, the first sign for Teddy's Red Tacos, it was on a whiteboard. And I used white. It was actually my little brothers or my little sisters.
Yeah.
I took it from them, and they had it. They had their goals or something. I wiped down with alcohol. I just took it.
Yeah.
I gave them back the dollar later on, right? And I put Teddy's Red Tacos with red, and I put a special like tres por cinco tacos
Damn.
and a free caldito. And that's how we started. That's how we started. And I thought it was going to be a success
Yeah.
because they had 60 workers. I was going to be outside and just sell my tacos.
Right.
It's plain and simple. To my good luck, none of them purchased any food.
From the business, right?
Yes, none of them. So they took their break, their lunch, and we had told everybody about it. We're excited. I told my mom, "Hey, ma, caliente las tortillas. Ahí te yo hago los tacos and everything." And they started going out for lunch. They'll come back with menudo, with their, like pan pollo loco, and they were just eating in front of us. And my mom was so, like bummed
Yeah.
out. Like, Mom, don't worry about it. Let me figure it out. So that obstacle made me get creative.
Mm.
Meaning, okay, what can I do? That didn't work out. What can we do? So I started sending videos. I said, hey, Mom, record me. Let me record pouring the consomme, the broth, on the tacos. Let me do. I had all this time free.
Yeah.
I'm just waiting for people. So let me do something. I had the phone.
Yeah.
So I started sharing that videos with all my contacts.
Nice.
I just started like bombarding people on Facebook. I wasn't that big on Instagram, but anybody that I could send it to, I would just spam people with it. And then what crazy thing is, I wasn't selling anything. I would put everything on the trunk of the car, and I would start driving for Uber and for Lyft. And I was so excited. I think one of the biggest things coming out of depression, Alex, or any obstacles you've been through, you have to put it away, even though you're like hurt, depressed, sad. Put that away, and because the world doesn't want to see that. The world doesn't care if you're depressed. They don't care if you're broke. They don't care if you need to pay rent. They don't care.
Yeah.
They care what do you have to offer to the world.
Right.
What do you have to offer? So say, you know what? I'm going to put my a happy face. I want to smile. I want to greet people with excitement, and that's what I did. I got excited. I would share people. I would take videos and I would show them, hey, this is what I sell. Hey, you need to come check out my tacos.
Wow.
Why?
Wow, you were doing Uber in there.
Yes. Oh my
Dang.
God. Have you tried these tacos? Have you tried these tacos?
Crazy.
Like, no. Or do you have a restaurant? Like, no. Do you have a food truck? No, it's a taco stand. What do you mean it's a taco stand? Yeah, it's in South Central. Oh, South Central. Like, oh no, but you have to come. You have to come. My excitement was bigger than my depression.
Sorry to cut you off. That reminds me of me in 2014. A lot of people don't know this. And this is probably the first time I'm ever gonna announce this, and I've never said it in the podcast. I've never said it in the interview. But my friend James and Wendy, they also reminded me that I actually was a street vendor too. In 2014, I had just caught a case. I was facing 6 years in jail. I was a felon. I just got convicted, and I didn't know where to go. Right, so I had to close down my recording studio, and I started selling organic mulch, like abono. So I had a little truck, and I would go to a ranch right here in Carson, and I would have bags, and I would sell like for you to grow your grass. So I
Okay.
would drive around South Central, Compton, Linwood, all these areas, and that's how I survived, bro, for a year.
What?
Technically speaking, that is a street vendor. It's
Yeah.
not in a traditional sense the way some people view it, which is,
Yeah.
taqueros, taqueros, etc. But you were
Yeah.
vending from the street from a cart.
Yes, I was. Yeah. So I had
A legend.
yeah, thank you. So I had a little Toyota, a 1989 Toyota, and I would drive by, but like, look, señora, like, you can grow your grass. This is for your plants, stuff like that. And that's the hustle mentality. And then that's when I got into what I do now, which is a lot of people still don't know, but it's politics. I manage political campaigns, but that is crazy because I remember being that where you have to go out there and find the customers, and it's how that inspiration. And sometimes it's always in the back of my head, had I kept going, man. And I'm glad that you kept going because you didn't give up. So from the moment that you had this taco stand, what inspired you to take it to the next level?
You know what? What inspired me was people's reactions.
Mm,
Each time somebody would try my taco, they'll eat it and they're like, wow, this is good. So I think that helped me out so much because at the moment of depression and sadness and frustration, to see somebody happy of something that I created, for me, it was like a motivation. It was fuel. So I said, you know what? This is working out. This is working out. I would invite people. I would invite people. So pretty much my goal was, you know what? I'm driving the whole week. for the event. I'll promote. Hey, come. I would try to get as many people for the weekend,
Mm.
and then I'll check it like that. And I noticed it kept growing and growing each weekend
So you were not only a business owner, you were like an event organizer. You were organizing people
to come to
to
my
come to the,
event.
yeah.
So
Wow.
and I noticed, you know what, I need to get them excited about it.
Mm.
Excited. We put some music. We got, you know what, I was already street vending. I was already illegal. So I say, might as well take it to the next level. I was also, we have beers and stuff. I don't know if you should say this,
Yeah.
but we were selling beers too.
Yeah.
That's right.
We have to do what you have to do, right?
Yeah.
And I noticed people will keep coming back. They will bring.
And I'm sorry to cut you off. That you know what pisses me off, that people think like there's people that say like, why don't you have your permits, or why don't you have your liquor license? Like, what? How does that matter to you? Is that money coming to you? Are you at the city council meetings and making sure that the money from the liquor license are going to where you're supposed to? And then you hear these stories about these mayors funneling all this money to themselves.
Right.
And we have to make a living like that. So que les valga verga la persona que, But yeah, keep going. So you were, damn.
So I noticed people will keep coming back with their friends, with their families, and it kept growing. And I will see that, as familiar faces,
Yeah.
but with new faces.
Mm.
So I said, well, you know what? This is working out. What if it works out better? I pretty much, with my self-talk, which was, I was listening to a lot of motivation, a lot of positive.
Yeah.
Because one thing I want to say, as a Hispanic, and first generation out here, our parents, like, they're not big believers.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, hey, you know what? Just get a real job. Just play it safe.
And that's the thing that I'm against right now with the economy. It's not fair for us. It's
Right.
harder for us. We have to work. And I'm not saying that we should just lay down on the couch and cry and play victim, but it's not fair that people like us, we don't have inheritance.
Right.
We didn't grow up where there's, and in this capitalistic country, it's very catered to, I'm sorry to say, but a lot of white people, a lot of kids, they have their college already paid off. They go to tuition. They have a business. Like a lot of these races that I confront, for example, the guy I confronted yesterday, George Soto, he got that from his dad. It wasn't even he didn't have to go out there like you.
So there's
Yeah.
people that feel entitled.
Yeah, not only are they entitled, but they didn't have it as hard as you. But so you're there, and then did you go straight from a taco stand to a restaurant, or you went to a food truck, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So I was visualizing. I went in my food truck, and a buddy of mine came up to me and said, Teddy, how serious are you about your business?
Mm-hmm.
And I told him, you know what? I want to grow. I want to, like, maybe get a food truck, get a restaurant, because I notice this is growing, and what if it works even better?
Right.
Because I'm doing this illegally on the weekends. Why not, with a food truck, I can be selling every day.
Yeah.
So 9 months later, I was able to get my first food truck, which is
Wow.
in July 2017.
So question about that for those that want to start a business or start a food truck. Can you briefly explain to me, like, what is the first step? What obviously you have to buy the food truck, or I think some people lease it, but other than going to the Department of Public Health and getting all the permits you need, what do you need to get for your city permits or your business permits? Where do you go for that?
Well,
Or do you open an LLC, or how do you go about all that?
in my case, it was kind of different because I was still paying the truck,
Mhm.
so I gave my friend the down payment.
Okay.
Which back then was $15,000.
Okay.
I think I did like a good
Investment. Yeah.
investment on it. The truck was 55,000.
Okay.
So in the beginning, I was working under his
The umbrella, the
Yes.
permit umbrella. Okay.
So I was working under his information, under everything.
Gotcha.
So when anything happened, I would call him. Hey, you know what? The city's here. Hey, you know what?
Mm.
They shut us down because I didn't know if I didn't know anything. I didn't know better.
Right.
I didn't know anything. I was just hungry. I was just motivated. I was just excited. I didn't know better, right?
Right.
So little by little, as my friend would tell me, Teddy, you can't have you need to turn your heater on. I'm like, why? It's only hot water. Like, yeah, you need hot water because if inspector showed up, you need that. Like, okay.
Right.
So he kind of coached me through it.
Yeah.
He had already got a couple food trucks. So I know you have to, let's say you want to open a business. How do you start? That's a good question, right?
Yeah.
You need to get the best way I could do it is get someone that maybe an attorney.
Mm,
They can help you out to form your corporation.
gotcha.
Um, Obviously, once you open the corporation, you want to open the bank account
Mm-hmm.
under the name,
Right.
get your business permit, and whatever city you need to be establishment. You want to go out and ask them, hey, you know what? I want to sell out here. What are the requirements? And it's
Okay.
pretty simple because sometimes we make it seem harder than it is.
Yeah.
Like for example, when I opened my restaurant in Downey,
Mm-hmm.
people were telling me, Teddy, don't go to Downey. Downey's so complicated. Downey's one of the strictest cities. A lot of rich people live out there, and you're coming from a taco stand from South Central.
Yeah.
Like, careful. So you know what? I'm gonna put all that to the side, and I just walk to the Downey
City Hall.
City Hall,
Yeah.
and I ask them, hey, this is my first time trying to open a restaurant. What do I do?
Wow.
That's it. What do I do? I said, okay, go to the fire department and go to planning and
You already had your location at that moment, or?
yes,
Okay.
maybe I should have done it the opposite,
Yeah.
because sometimes you want to go ask first if you
Right.
can open it.
Right.
But
Right.
I was just excited. I was excited. I got in a restaurant with a drive-through in Downey. I was
Wow.
like, yeah, I want it. Let's get it.
And that's there right now. The
Yeah, we're still
What
there
street is that on?
on Firestone.
Firestone the what?
Firestone and Rips.
And okay.
765 Firestone Boulevard in
Check
Downey,
it out. You're in Downey.
California.
Check it out.
Every day with a drive-through, nice patio.
Damn.
Taco Tuesday mandatory pit stop.
There you go.
And you know what? I was surprised because the city
Yeah.
was so welcoming. They're like, oh, Teddy's, we heard about you. I had my hat, my shirt from Teddy's. You know what, Teddy? You just fill out this application. It's like $150,
Yeah.
and go to the fire department and pretty much that's all you need.
Okay.
So I was like, you're telling me for less than $200, I can work for this. I can be in the city and I'm good. Yeah, that's it. Welcome to the city.
Wow.
Oh, thank you. So it's not that complicated
Yeah.
as like some people make it seem like it. It's not. It's not.
It isn't. It isn't. And what I tell cities too, like, give these vendors a chance. Like how you started off. Right now in Cudahy, we had a whole street of vendors. 3 of them right now just opened their brick and mortars this year. 3 of
Nice.
them, and that's
Wonderful.
that's good, and that's what we want. And it's just a startup, and look at where you're at now, and I give you a lot of props, and I think right now, just by you talking about this, you're going to inspire someone that's seeing this and be able to get out of that dark hole that they're in and be able to do something out for themselves. And especially you, that you were in the stage where the people at that age, at 30, they feel like they have to have all this, and next thing you know, look, in a matter of what, 7 years,
It's
you
what?
started in 2016. That's when you opened your first taco stand. You said
Yes,
October.
taco
So in a
stand.
matter of 7 years, you had a taco stand 7 years ago that you started on in this month, October, to now having 11 locations. And I understand, like we were talking earlier, it's still not easy, right? You're still
Well, I've been through a lot of ups and downs.
Right.
Like I was naive. I was, like I was very naive, and I got screwed big time.
mm,
This guy showed up to my spot and with nice cars and pretty much brainwashed me. Brainwashed me. Hey, Teddy, we're gonna grow. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do that. And I have this location in Pico Rivera, and let's partner up. And I will do all this stuff. And I believed them.
right.
I believed them, and at that time I had
Experience.
no experience, no paperwork, nothing. It was just pretty much a handshake. I thought it was a handshake and we're good, right? Because that's the deal I did with my first food truck.
Yeah.
Because we just shook on it, and
Yeah.
I was paying making cash payments to my buddy.
Yeah.
No paperwork, bro. So I did the same that wasn't a mistake, but with the other guy, I did that
How much did you lose out of that situation?
throughout. I would say like 200,000.
Damn. 200?
200,000.
Damn. So that held you back. You would have been bigger right now had it had that.
Actually, because of that, I got bigger.
Oh wow.
Because of that, I learned from that, and I said, because he tried to sue me.
Mm.
He tried to sue me for the name, for the recipe, and for the locations. So I said, all right, I don't want to say this in
Yeah,
camera,
yeah.
right? All right, okay, all right. So I went out, got one of the best attorneys, fought back, and he
won.
lost the case.
Wow.
But because of that, I was able to get verified on Instagram, and gave me a lot of courage and a lot of motivation to do things right.
Mm.
Anything I do now, I get an attorney. I get advice. Sometimes we don't want to pay for an attorney. I'm like, oh no, pues así nomás, just like that. Let's sign it. Let's do whatever.
And that's power for anyone listening. That's a lot of power once you reach a certain level. Because a lot of people with us too, they see videos, they think, oh, all they do is scream. Like, shout out to Christian Contreras, my attorney. We actually hit these racists and these people that attack street vendors with the law too. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's people who have gotten civil right lawsuits and hate crime lawsuits. And once you reach a certain level where you know you can back your shit up with the law, it's you feel protected, right? You feel
Right, right. And we have to,
yeah,
sometimes it's better to have it and not need it than to need it and not have it.
yeah,
Because one decision or one contract can help you with thousands of dollars later on.
yeah,
So I did that, and now I feel more confident moving forward. But I needed to go through that struggle, and I took it as a man because, so you know what, 200,000 is going to cost me for this. So you know what, I should have known better. I should have hired an attorney. I should have done this properly. But that's going to be my price if I want to play with the big, let's say, big heavy
yeah.
hitters or whatever you
Right.
call it. So that's the price, and I'm willing to pay for it.
Wow.
And because of that, I chose to get better. I chose to get stronger, and I chose not to give up.
Is it hard to manage 11 locations now? How are you able to? Man, that's a lot of people that you have to. Damn.
I don't know. Think about it.
Yeah.
It's stressful.
Yeah.
Imagine just with having one location and people calling sick, people calling this. It's challenging, man. It's
Yeah.
challenging. It's stressful. You have to trust on a lot of people. Trust a lot of people, and some people are very faithful. Some people are not,
Yeah.
and it's part of the game, man.
Yeah.
You just have to be willing to,
With more
like
power comes more responsibility, right?
exactly.
Yeah.
Especially in pandemic, it was a stressful situation because people didn't want to work.
Hmm.
A lot of people didn't want to work. We have people that under normal circumstances we wouldn't have them. We wouldn't have them. Meaning, like, what do you do? Like, yeah, you have cashiers giving bad attitude. You don't. They're coming in late. The
Yeah.
taqueros are drunk. What do you do? Like, either let them go and close down the restaurant, the food truck. What do you do? I can go operate. I can
Yeah.
probably show up to one, but I
Yeah.
can be on all locations, right? So you have to settle for, because people don't want to work.
Yeah.
And even till now, like, some people are like, I don't know. That's a challenging part.
Right.
So it seems easy. It seems easy. Oh yeah, cool. You just out there, enjoying life. But no, I have a big responsibility because you have like over 100 families that depend on of Teddy's.
Yeah.
So I need to have my head straight. I have to be focused. I have to be seeing for the future because a lot of people depend on
Right.
Teddy's.
Wendy, do you have a question? No? Oh, I thought you wanted to ask a question. Feel free to ask a question, that's crazy, man. That's amazing. So, I mean, congratulations to you. I think you're in a big inspiration, and to anyone watching that aspire to have dreams, it's never too late. I think when we were younger, like is that pressure, especially as a man, like you said, like by the age of 25, we need to have it all together, and same here. At shit, 10 years ago, I wasn't, doing what we were doing now. And 10 years ago, like I mentioned, I was actually a street vendor in 2014. I don't know why I never mentioned it. It was just a year. Sometimes when you go through something so bad, you just block it out of your
Right,
head. You know
right.
what I mean? Um, but it's definitely an inspiration, man. And I appreciate you coming over here and saying your story. And in the future, we'll love to have you back, just to hear an update on how everything's going. And next thing you know, you're gonna have 50 locations, or what do you where do you see yourself now? Law of attraction now. Where do you see yourself now? 10 in the next 7 years.
You know what? I want my story to motivate others. I want others to see my story. They see me, and they say and tell themselves, you know what? If Teddy can do it, I can do it.
Yeah.
What's your excuse?
Right.
What's your excuse? What are you telling yourself?
Yeah.
It comes down to that. Oh, like, I can't do this because I don't have support. I don't have this. I don't have that. I don't have none of that stuff.
And it should inspire you. Like, yes, we have to work twice as hard because, like I mentioned, in this system, there's other people who do get inheritances. We don't. And it's more like last time I was talking to a friend and I said the system ain't made for us, but it's more of the lack of system that we don't have. We don't have that inheritance. We don't have that. But there is that silver lining. There is that hard route. We have to work twice as hard to do it. And it could happen. You remind me a lot of my friend James. Same thing. 5 years ago, he couldn't make it out here in LA. when nothing, se fue a Las Vegas. He started working cleaning hotels,
Okay.
and now he owns 3 barbershops, a boxing gym. Same thing. He just hustled, man. And it's sad that we have to fucking, and it's sad that only a couple of us make it. Sometimes, what is it right now? The statistics out of small businesses. I think 8 out of 10 small businesses are failing in this economy, and it
Wow.
sucks that it's only the luck, not the lucky ones, but it's the ones that really work hard and that have that, what do you call it, that Mamba mentality, that you really have to put that on, especially as a Mexican, Guatemalan, or if you're black or brown, you have to have the Mamba mentality, and it's that in order to make it. Meanwhile, other people who have businesses that have, like for example, Wells Fargo, the owners of Wells Fargo, they started off of slave labor, and that's why they are where they're at now. They have how many generations in, right?
Mm.
So is it possible? Yes, but you have to work hard, put that thinking cap on, read those books and use this system in your towards your advantage, and you could make it out the hood. Not only out the hood, be able to help out your family, you know.
But it's how bad
Yeah.
you want it.
Yeah.
Because I have this saying, like, you can either make excuses or make money, but you
Hmm.
can't make both. So if you get excited, you can go do anything right now. If you sing, if you sing, you go out talk to people. Hey, look at me sing.
Yeah.
But you have to get excited. You have to be willing to go out in the street, meet new people.
Yeah.
Be willing to get out of your comfort zone and talk to people, man.
Yeah.
There's people that are willing to lend you a hand, people that guide you, but you have to be willing to get out of the house and talk to people,
Yeah.
smile and get excited. Like, I'm not a chef, I'm not a cook, no, but I just said, how can I make it better?
Yeah.
I just talk to people. Hey, uno quiere un calito, un taquito, come.
And the same way that
No,
you
no.
you did it appealing, you did it appealing. You knew your food was good, but you had to go out there and go above and beyond, right?
And I still do. And I still do till
Yeah.
this day. If I'm doing an
Nice.
event, I'm talking to people, I'm greeting people. Hey, have you heard about Teddy's, guys? No, what's that? Oh, birria. Let me show you.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm good with birria. No, no. Have you tried Teddy's?
That's dope.
No. Come, let me show you. Let me hear. I give you. I want you to try it out.
So you
But
still have that hunger, like as if you're just starting off.
because you don't have to forget where you're coming from.
Yeah.
Because if not, you're gonna go back to that. So yo todavía tengo los pies en la tierra.
Yeah.
I'm still out there working. Like I love doing events. I love meeting new people because it's an opportunity to when I got started.
Yeah.
So it's exciting because there's so many people out there that haven't tried our product.
Right.
So every day is an opportunity to do better.
Yeah.
So anybody
Amazing.
out here listening to, don't give up. Get excited when you're faced with an obstacle, with a challenge. Instead of saying, "What if it doesn't work? What if it's not possible?" Start changing the way we speak to ourselves. Start saying, "Hey, what if it does work out?
Yeah.
What if it's possible? What if I'm able to get this, this house, this loan, this restaurant, this property? What if
Yeah.
it's possible? What if it works? What if it works?" Instead of saying, "Oh, I don't think so, man. I've been depressed all this life. I never had nothing,
Dreams can come true. That's the thing. A lot of us are going through a lot of shit where we don't think that dreams can come true, and they could. He's a living testament of it. And same thing here. I can say about even when it comes to activism. I know a lot of activists who are really good, but they don't really take it to the next level where they can use the social media tools to expand. Same thing here. Like we have to. I spend so many hours editing videos just to make it for people to see what's going on in the streets. And you have to just step outside of your comfort zone to be able to expand. And I think what you've done, it's a big inspiration, and I hope that other street vendors that I will share this video with can see this and get inspired, because same thing, there's a lot of people who also get too comfortable and they probably stay at the same level. They don't want to expand or they don't want to grow. And
But we have, sorry to interrupt you, we have to be willing to adapt. There's a lot of changes happening right now
yeah,
in life, so we have to be willing to constantly be changing.
yeah,
And you know what? I want to give props to you and to you, Wendy, and all of you guys out here. You guys doing an amazing job. You know what? I'm impressed.
you were telling me that they were telling you to be careful, right? Because they said that we might
like,
get loud.
hey, like, are you sure you want to go there? My girl's telling me, like, are you sure you want to go there? Like, like he's not afraid of cops and stuff, and I'm like, I don't know, right?
He's on the good guy's side.
Yeah, I feel more at peace now. But last night, after watching your video, like
Yeah,
how you went to with those cops, I'm like, wow,
yeah,
my respects to you because I don't know if people, I couldn't do that. I couldn't
yeah.
do that, but you're doing it, and congrats to you.
Thank you.
Safe. I admire, respect whatever you have going on,
You know,
and
my main goal, like what people see on social media, is it's what the when it comes to extremes. You know, like I was mentioning earlier, I we do a lot of work off camera, but what you see out there is when we really need the people's help. Like, okay, look, this person's really bad. We need to expose them. But that's pretty much it. You know, my goal right now is through my job is be able to change laws to make it easier for people like yourself, how you started off, to be able to have an easier pathway, you know, and to not make it as hard, to
hmm
not leave it up to fate, to not leave it up to chance too, you know, um, to be able to change laws and be able to give out. I think when I met you, we had just given a thanks to Revolution cards. We had given a tamale card to a lady who with her permits. You know, that's how I
right,
met you the
right.
first
I
time.
remember in
And
downtown.
yeah, and that's what we want to do. We want to be able to make it easier for our raza, but at the same time, not to fall victim, not to say, you know, like, "Ah, it's too hard." It's not. And you're, like I said, you're a living testimony of it, man. So I really appreciate that, and we're gonna continue doing what we're doing and be able to make it easier for our raza. But thank you for leading the pack and leading the way, and to be able to show that, you know, you can not make it out the hood, but you know what I mean when I say that, like, be able
Yeah,
to
yeah, yeah.
come out of that zone that you were in. And shit, it inspires me, man, because there was a time in my life too where in my 20s I wasn't at where I wanted to be, and you know, I still had to use, you know, had to get help from my parents too, you know. Even though I moved out of my house when I was 17, but there was times during my 20s that I had to go back, you know, for a couple of days, you know what I'm saying? Like
Really.
I had to, yeah, it's just it sucks, man, but now looking back, it's worth it. It's worth it, you know. And I know, going back to the depression thing, man, that shit is, you know, I've had it. You might see me fight with cops, you might see me fight with racists, or you might see me fight with a bunch of other people in my past, enemies, whatever. But I think the worst enemy I had to fight, and I'm still fighting it, is depression. And you know, don't be afraid to get help, whether it's professional therapy or whether it's finding a passion that you can have, and to prove yourself that you are worth it, you know. And I think that's the biggest battle you can do. But what I do want to say is that don't give up. These things, it passes. It does pass. It's not, none of that is permanent. It does pass. And you know, like, would you have imagined yourself being here right now
No,
back in 2016?
no, 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 no. To be honest, no.
It's crazy, man. In 2016, it still feels like it was yesterday.
2016, I had no clue what I was gonna do.
Wow.
Had no clue. I was just excited. I know I couldn't control my circumstances. I can only control what I do.
Right.
So what can I do? I said, I can get excited. I can say hello. I can say thank you. I can greet people. And those basic things open a lot of doors for me.
Wow.
So if you start doing something towards change, that can get you out of depression.
Yeah.
So stop doing things that got you into that, and start getting excited about new things.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this: what are you doing towards your depression? What works for you?
Um, Look, my older brother, we were both going through depression at the same time, and he told me to get therapy. I didn't get it. It wasn't until he passed away. He lost his battle with depression. My brother committed suicide in 2015.
Sorry to hear that.
He was very successful too.
2015?
2015. My
Oh
brother committed
wow.
suicide. His name was Alan Enamorado. He was 35 years old. I'm 35 now. He was 8 years older than me.
Mm.
Now I'm 35, and what I did is I actually listened to his advice. I got professional therapy, and I still take it. I meet my therapist once every 2 weeks. We sit down, we talk. That has helped me a lot. It's helped me to stop the drinking. You know,
Wow.
that
Impressive.
you know, from one day to another, I just decided, you know, I gotta make a decision. Do I want to stay in this world or not? Or do I want to? And then I started seeing my friends, because we're getting older now, right? We're in our 30s. It's not like when you're 21 and you could drink and
Right,
drink and
right.
drink. This year so far, I've lost two friends to alcoholism, to liver failure.
Oh wow.
So seeing them go through all that shit, I was like, man, I don't want to deteriorate myself. And before, when I would drink, I would tell myself, why am I gonna stop drinking? I could die getting shot tomorrow or in a car accident. Because I had friends too like that, where, for example, my friend Brandy, she was one of my best friends. She was addicted to crystal meth, and she stopped and she went sober. 2 months, like, what was it, like a year later, after she went completely sober, she was shot and killed. by walking with her boyfriend. Like both of them
Wow.
got shot. Even the dog got shot. They were walking the dog. That's all they were doing. They got ambushed here in the city of Huntington Park, and that made me want to drink more. But then I started thinking, you know what? I'm gonna do what's in my control. Yeah, I could die tomorrow getting shot. Yeah, I could die tomorrow in a car accident. But I'm gonna do what's in my control to be able to control what's going into my body. And I think stopping the drinking helped me out a lot with the depression. I feel like I was going through more bad days with the drinking because it's already it's a downer. It's a
Hmm.
downer, so it's already putting you down. So I think now, and what's helped me is finding my passion, and I think helping other people. Being like that lady that we gave that card to, Liliana, and right now that she's finalizing all her permits, seeing her face, seeing all these vendors that, we have a lot of trolls that hate on us, but you know what keeps us going, bro, is when, for example, the street vendor who was being antagonized by his landlord, le cortó el agua, le cortó el hot water, le cortó
I
the,
see
the,
that.
the gas. He called me 2 days ago, right, man? And he thanked me like in tears, thanking me for helping him. And that's what keeps me going. And I think that's in a form to give back, and that's it. So um yeah, to be able to
Congrats.
yeah,
Do
thank
you
you.
feel that's like your mission in life?
I think so, man. I think so. I think this I think when we were growing up, we had all this anger, and then what my older brother taught me, the one who died, he told me, use all that anger, Alex, towards something positive, instead of, because I didn't care, the stuff that you see me out there not being scared of cops like that. I wasn't scared of nothing back in the day. Like I wanted to use that anger towards getting a shootout to my enemies, and just being able to survive and protect my friends, because that's what I was doing, and that's how I actually got involved in the gang life. Like I was protecting my friend from getting jumped from these other guys that I actually who knew who they were too. And being a protector, that's what I kind of just wanted to be able to protect my raza too. And all these attacks that we're seeing, it's happening, man. 300% spikes in attacks, and that's basically and I think I do now. I have like this vision. Like if you ask me, where do we see yourself 10 years from now? Now I think I've made up my mind. In 10 years from now, I want to run for Congress. I want to be able to jump in there and be able to change laws and make a difference. But not only that, be also be able to change the system on the outside too. But I wanna make that change, and I have a I have these goals now. I have my whole life ahead of me, and then maybe in the future when I even tell myself, and when I'm 60, I wanna maybe go. I wanna, because I like to make music, right? Well, that's what I was doing, and maybe go back into acting, and I have this whole plan set out, man. I can't wait to be that age, and so with people like us to be able to inspire other people, you will find it, whether it's when you're 25 or you're 35. It's never too late, man, to be able to find your passion, and it'll come to you. It'll come to you. Just look for it, but it's kind of like that butterfly. It's gonna land on you. Watch, and just don't give up. That's it.
Exactly.
But thank you so much, Teddy. I appreciate
No,
that, man. I
no.
appreciate you so much coming out here, man. Appreciate you guys,
Hey, man, over here.
and we'll be back next week.
Check it
And
out. Thank you
check
guys.
out Teddy's Red Tacos.
And
You got just look it up online. Your nearest spot, Bomb Birria, the Consume, man, it hits the spot. So you guys have a good weekend. We'll see you guys next time.
thank you guys. Add it to your gratitude and keep doing what you're doing.
Gracias. Thank you.
Congrats.